the Echo Network Studios here in Royal Oak, Michigan. This is Odd Musings, here for our one-year anniversary show. I'm Brett Pinson, creator of Boomtown Scabs, The Adventures of Carl, as well as The Expendables. I'm joined with my co-host,
Scott Zambelli, creator of Manual God With Us, and Realtor, and Ship Shopper, and anything that makes me a buck.
And he's a TK as well.
And a Stormtrooper. That doesn't make me money. It costs me money.
It costs you money, yeah.
Emperor Palpatine is a horrible boss.
There you go. I'm also with doing ship shopping as well, having a blast doing that, making money.
It's been fun. And we'll be posting on our page, too, a shopper code that Brett's going to share.
Yeah,
You'll be able to sign up if you're interested in getting groceries delivered, but you'll get $10 off, I think, is there?
Well, no, actually, we get a referral for it, like a referral credit.
No, but there's a code that when they do their first shop, they get free groceries of some sort.
Right now, though, use that code, they've got half off the annual membership fee through Mother's Day.
All right.
So I think that's even better. But use the code so we get credit for referring you, so that, hey, I'm using something. Oh, Brett did, or Scott, or whoever put the code up. And
put the code in.
And that way we kind of get credit for that. It helps us out in our personal lives and building our dreams back up from being destroyed by the horrible...
We'll do a toast to you.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't really get a notification of who it is, I don't think, but it's there. And if you're interested in being a shopper, hit us up. We can definitely refer you to being an actual shopper for Shipped. It's a great way to make some side money. It's a good side hustle.
If you're interested, contact Brett, and he can hook you up.
Yep, we'll take care of you on that. And that's what we do in our real lives, but on our fake lives,
which
we
is also real.
We go to things like Motor City Nightmares.
Yeah, that was a fun weekend. Good time. You were able to join me this weekend on Saturday.
Yeah, the beauty of doing the Shipped is I don't have to ask anybody to take a day off. I just don't schedule myself. So it was great to come hang out. I haven't been a fan at a show in a while. I've done it since,
we're always working them.
Yeah, since 2005, I've done it like 3 times.
Right.
And so
so far, my whole life, I've done it once. That was when I did Star Wars Celebration. I went as a fan and just enjoyed myself, and it was a blast.
Right. It was different. I had fun. Nice thing is we got a chance to hang out with Darlene. She was up from Cleveland.
Yeah, that was nice.
Usually we see Darlene with Brian Verhoeven, and he was out in Greater Philadelphia. She came up to meet a lot of guests, and since she was there, we all went out to breakfast to the Breakfast Club, had a really good meal.
I have to say, I'm going to give a shout out. This is an unpaid solicitation or whatever you want to call it. There's a place called the Breakfast Club that we'll eat at when we're in Novi, and also there's one in Madison Heights, I believe. It's 13 in John R.
They have like 3 or 4 total.
Yeah, 13 in John R. is the one nearby here, but I think of all the places, we travel a lot, and we eat at a lot of places, and we eat breakfast at a lot of places. I think Breakfast Club may be my single favorite place in the whole country.
It's in my top. It's in my top 2 for sure.
Yeah.
There's a place out in Baltimore I liked, the Blue Moon Cafe.
Okay. Yep. They're good.
That was really good. I saw that on Triple D years ago.
And I'm blanking on the name. The other one that really jumps to the top of my mind is Denver. The place we ended up not going to because we were too busy.
Well, it's also in Phoenix. So.
I had it in Phoenix, and it had an I had an interesting name.
Yeah,
I'll have to look it up.
I'm still hooked on when I first met Brett in Tennessee. Was Ye Old Steakhouse was like
that's a good
amazing.
Dinner.
Oh yeah, great for dinner.
I looked it up because it would have been Hugh's birthday here the other week. My good friend Hugh that passed away. That was his family owns the steakhouse.
Yep.
Mom goes, "Is it still open?" I looked. I was like, "It's still open." So I'm like, I'm gonna have to hit it at some time again.
Yeah,
it's still
that's an institution.
The best steak ever.
Oh yeah,
right.
So hopefully they got someone that can continue on the legacy. Hugh was going to do that,
right?
And unfortunately, he was taken from us too early in that. Yeah. So, but definitely we all went there.
Great guy when I met him. And he was a really good guy.
So in fact, pictures were posted the other week from another friend of mine, William, down in Georgia.
I saw that.
It showed that, and it's funny. I'm looking at going, "Yep, I've definitely lost some weight since then."
Yeah, definitely. So for anybody coming out for Motor City Comic Con, come to the Breakfast Club. We'll be eating
I actually don't because we
Well, go after us.
I feel bad.
Get there at 8:30. Yeah, 8:30.
I live close to the one here. I never been to.
Oh, you got to go to it.
Well, if you want to buy us breakfast, you can come with us.
But Breakfast Club was great. And then we went back to
I went back there the next day too with Darlene.
Yeah, you went back. I was working that day.
She loved it too. The good omelets.
Oh, they had great omelets. Of course, they end the meal with dark chocolate dipped strawberries.
Yep.
What? And they were really good.
When you bring your bill, you get chocolate covered strawberries.
Weird.
It is. Oh, it's good.
The chocolate's really good. I'm not a big fan of chocolate covered strawberries, so I break the chocolate off and eat the chocolate.
But what's funny though is on Saturday though with the meal we split a stack of pancakes because we all wanted some pancakes, but we didn't all want to have it as our meal.
And the next day, Darlene and I did that with the waffle. We got a waffle and split that.
Do they have like those different pancakes there, like all different pancakes, or just a pancake?
Oh yeah, and they have a stuffed French toast also.
Yeah, it's like massively high. I think the only other breakfast that really truly does compare is out in Vegas when we went to the Hash House A Go-Go.
Yeah, they were.
And Hash House A Go-Go is kind of
that's more like weird and over the top though. That's just like a
but it's so good. They do have the best waffles.
The Hash House A Go-Go is just like this immense amount of food. It's like piled on and held together with a giant butcher knife or something.
I will say there is a place we're not far from here. It's called the Chocolate Gallery. Yeah. It's they're only open limited times. All they do breakfast, and their menu is always written like when they come in, they figure out what we're gonna have for breakfast and write it down.
Oh, that's possible. That means they're doing everything fresh. So
everything's fresh. So that's great.
Cool. But so then
I'm getting hungry now.
Yeah, I know. I'll have to get my teeth afterwards. But went to the Motor City Nightmare. Scott was set up there. I did post a video on the Odd Musings. Did a live walkthrough.
Yeah, it's fine. I saw you post that afterwards.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were filming, so I'm in the background like.
Yep.
So
it doesn't go there, Scott, and he.
I'm like, I don't know what I was doing at that time, but I was on the phone.
But I did it was like a 25-minute video almost, and I did walk through. I did some impromptu interviews. A couple people I knew, a couple people I didn't know. Just saw some cool stuff and wanted to talk to people.
They did have some great guests there.
Yep.
Malcolm McDowell was there. Got to see him.
Cool. Saw him, and I had dinner with him impromptu in Chicago years ago. He doesn't know it. He was just at the table next to me, but so we had dinner together. Him and what's his name from?
That would have been a good way to introduce yourself to him. We had dinner once. You just don't know it.
I was joking, telling him like,
I was stalking you.
So I was like, oh yeah, I was at Gibson's in Chicago, and him and Merle from Walking Dead.
Oh, Michael Rooker.
They're sitting next to us at the table, and these are big tables. So I mean, there's a little bit of space, but not much. But they were right there with a few of their other people. They were doing the Chicago Horror Show. Used to be the same weekend as Wizard World.
Okay.
At the hotel up the road there. So we saw them there. They were from the horror show, and we were all from the Comic-Con having our big $50 meat-sickles.
Oh my God.
So, but that was great.
You got to meet Victoria Price, daughter of Vincent Price.
Yeah, that was fun. I had not met her before, but I heard podcasts with her talking about her book and talking about her dad.
And the book's about her.
Yeah, the book
dad.
is from her perspective as his daughter, and that I'm looking forward to reading. It's huge. It's like monster thick.
Yeah.
And no pun intended on that. But
Vincent Price was such.
Oh, he's an icon.
He's an icon.
He's one of those guys that
his voice, his look, everything about him.
The things we hear about him is like he died broke, stuff like that. Because unfortunately, he did all these great movies, but he never got really paid much for them.
No.
Well, and that era was just a completely different era than now.
You hear that about a lot of those actors.
But to hear how you hear all kinds of great things about him, and I look forward to reading from perspective. She really, obviously, truly loves her dad.
Yeah.
And you could see where she glowed. It wasn't just like, well, I can make money off my dad's name. It was,
she wanted people to know about her.
Right. And then Scott won a raffle and gave me a signed T-shirt of Vincent Price signed by Victoria. So I'm going to it's a small, so I can't wear it, but I wasn't going to wear it anyways. I'm going to frame it up because it's actually pretty cool artwork that was on the T-shirt.
Yeah, it looked nice.
And then so I met her, talked to her. I had a chance to talk with Heather Langenkamp from Nightmare on Elm Street. She's the main girl in that. I also knew her from a sitcom in the late 80s, early 90s called Just the 10 of Us.
Yeah.
And I talked to her, I was like, well, you don't have anything from Just the 10 of Us? And then she kind of laughed. She goes, I think I do. She actually dug through all their pictures. She found a picture of her and the girls that played her sisters, and they were at Dodger Stadium and that stuff. She goes, yeah, it's not really a photo, but yeah, she goes, I got that. So we talked for a few minutes, and I did a selfie with her, which actually someone took pictures, so I didn't have to do a real selfie. So it actually
I remember we were talking, and I was like, couldn't believe how well she aged. I couldn't even believe she was 60.
She looks the same.
She looks the same. I
don't know how old she is, but she's got to be close to 60, I would think so. But she was real sweet, real nice. Talked to her. She's got a lot of stuff going on. I found out from Jonathan, who you met Jonathan over the weekend. He had come on the table. He had talked to her. Her husband runs an effects company that does all the stuff for American Horror Story. And she runs the books and stuff like that. So I didn't know that until talking with Jonathan. So
and one I got to meet was Dee Wallace.
Yeah, Dee's always great.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's got such an awesome personality, and for those who don't know, she typically plays a mom. She was the mom in Cujo. She was the mom in E.T.
Yeah.
She's been in a bunch of other stuff too, but she did, like, last year she was at this show also. Yeah. And every time I've done this show, she will stop by my table and say hi. She has no idea who I am. It's just where my table is. The celebrities have to walk past me all the time. Right. But hey, she said hi to me. We had a little talk. She has a great personality. Yeah. She really does. So she was always a fun one.
Yeah, she's nice. I talked to PJ Souls, who was next to her at the show.
She was in Stripes.
She was in Rock and Roll High School. She did a bunch of other stuff here and there. She's always fun. She's a great fan, appreciation of fans. And she spends a lot of time with people. I was waiting to talk to her just for a minute, and a guy was there. He goes, well, I've got that one. I'm sort of thinking, what is this, like artwork? You're buying all their pictures to get her signed. So it's pretty cool. But she is great. She's a couple times I've seen her over the years, she's had her Ramones jacket, because she is an unofficial Ramone, like, sister or whatever.
An unofficial official.
I think it is how it goes. I forget how it goes, but because they were all in the Rock and Roll High School together, the Roger Corman movie, Rock and Roll High School.
Okay.
And so I think she may have already been friends with him before that. So I talked to her for a minute, because I had to tell her I got a chance to meet Sean Young, and that she was correct about Sean Young. And
that's right.
And then
you met Sean Young and lived?
Yeah, in Indiana. But then also Curtis Armstrong was there, and a lot of people know him as Booger from Revenge of the Nerds. And I've met him a couple times before. Right. And one time I met him, he actually gave me an autograph. It was fun because I just wanted to talk to him, and he actually said, "Can I give you an autograph?" I said, "Sure." And it helped because I was broke.
That would have been awkward if you said no. Can I give you an autograph? No.
I thought some people do. Enough that he asked.
Some people do. I was like, yeah. And then so I told him that. I said, "Yeah, one time I met you a few years ago. You gave me an autograph picture from Better Off Dead," and I said, "I really appreciate it. So I want to buy your book." Right. And he was real excited about that. He was selling books as it was to people. So I bought his book. I bought Victoria Price's book, and then I did meet another guy that was selling his own creative works, and I bought one of his books. So.
Nice.
Doesn't he voice the one on American Dad?
Yeah, he does.
The Friend.
Yeah, The Friend. Yeah.
Okay.
So he does that.
If a celebrity asks me if I want an autograph, I'm going to say, yes, can you put that on a blank check, please?
Make it up to my name is Cash.
Funny you mentioned that. I saw a guy selling canceled checks from celebrities with other autographs.
A long time ago, this was an old interview with Mark Hamill, and he talked about how being a celebrity is weird, and I think this was like during the Empire Strikes Back days, if I remember correct. But what he would talk about is what he learned is people wanted his autograph so much that whenever he paid for something with a check, he started noticing the checks weren't getting cashed because people wanted to keep the check for his autograph. So what he started doing, he started paying for everything with checks because he's like, they don't cash them. Okay, here, I'll write a check for that. So that was like early in his career when he noticed the value of his autograph.
Well, instead of actually asking for but of course, the thing is too is you got this check, you also got his account number, his routing number,
home address.
Yep.
But so I always
his phone number. I'm surprised that people weren't calling him more, going, "Hi, Mr. Hamill. I know it's 3 a.m.
Your father." I wonder how many prank calls he got like that.
He probably answered the phone, and all he hears is "No."
See, kids these days don't know the fun of those prank calls. You caller ID and all that.
Yeah, we get prank calls all the time, but they're called telemarketers.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm waiting to get arrested. I asked one time. I said, "Well, okay, you guys feed me, right?" Well, huh? But yeah, you're gonna arrest me and put me in jail. I get fed. You're gonna give me clothes and housing. Perfect. I'm broke.
Come take me away. Calls. Yeah, I got a slew of those this past week. All of a sudden, I don't know. Maybe because it's tax season time. Yeah. All of a sudden, all these IRS calls out, I'm about to get arrested.
Oh, come get me.
It's like, oh, really?
I told everyone, come get me. You know where I'm at.
Yeah, so I guess the IRS now issues their warrants via telemarketer.
There you go, yeah.
So, but another thing we did this past weekend, Infinity War.
Yes.
We're not going to get into spoilers, but I really enjoyed it and definitely worth seeing. And
yeah, we're going to talk about that next Wednesday.
Yep.
We'll get a little more in depth on that. I'm going to go see it again between now and then.
The interesting thing though is
so
the interesting thing is it's $630 million for opening weekend, and that doesn't include China. Yeah. So if you take the Justice League numbers and back China out, Avengers has beaten Justice League's entire run.
Yeah. I was gonna say, why did you even bring that up?
Because I had to dig it in.
Yeah, the candy sales beat Justice League's entire run.
But it is amazing though to do the volume that they've done, and we'll see. I'm curious if it's going to break $1 billion in week 2.
I think it will.
I think it will.
Worldwide, it will.
I think so.
I mean, it's on track faster than Black Panther, which Black Panther is still going, and they're already announcing that they're doing pre-sales on the digital for Black Panther, which means I think it comes out in like 3 or 4 weeks.
And Black Panther did get a boost this last week too. People are going back to watch it after seeing Infinity War.
Yeah, because I know there's people that didn't see it. They went to Infinity War. They're like, okay, I got to see what this Wakanda thing's about, and they go back and watch that. So, which I think it's a great way to do it, because it is a movie that you can watch even after seeing Infinity War to get the whole gist of what Black Panther's about and Wakanda.
I enjoyed it, but I don't think I'll see it again because I'm kind of getting burned out to this whole thing.
Well, that's okay. There's more for me.
I'm not burned out at all. I'm totally enjoying it.
It's funny when people are saying that they're tired of superhero movies, this and that. No, I'm tired of crappy movies.
Yeah,
and that's where DC has been at.
I think that's the problem.
The Marvel stuff is
bad movies.
But Marvel's been, to me, I've not one in the last, actually, especially this last phase, have I not liked. I've liked every single one. The first Thor, I was surprised that I liked it better than I thought I would. Second Thor went a little darker, but they had to go that way. That was kind of a route they needed to go. And then they brought him back out, and then Ragnarok is still.
Well, the other thing too, Marvel was finding that voice. Where's the balance? And the key to Thor's success for Ragnarok was Guardian of the Galaxy 1. When they released that and they saw that formula worked for Guardians, the amount of humor and everything.
Hemsworth had said, okay, he goes next Thor, I want to do that.
Exactly.
And that's really, they go, I want it to be fun. It needs to be a good adventure story. And I think that's where Marvel's going with a lot more stuff. Ant-Man looks like it's going to be a blast.
Oh my goodness. Did you see the trailer they released yesterday? Ant-Man Wasp?
That was funny.
It's awesome. Yeah. You'll have to check it out.
I'll check that one out.
They released a new trailer yesterday. It looks great. Looks like the timeline for this movie is before Infinity War. My theory is
they say you find out why he wasn't there.
Right.
Why
exactly.
Right. He was mentioned in Infinity War, and then they mentioned Hawkeye.
Hawkeye, yeah.
It's not a spoiler. He wasn't in it because he's not listed anywhere. Yeah. So so I think that's going to come at a later time. We'll learn what's going on there more. Besides the fact, step back for his family, there's something else going on there too. Yeah. I think that's going to take place in the next.
Real world answer is probably he didn't sign the contract yet. So they're like, okay, we're just.
Let's switch gears where we really start talking about this and get off track. I did go see Rampage yesterday.
Oh yeah,
and
I so want to see that.
I go see it. It's a fun popcorn movie. I had a blast watching it. I laughed. It was funny. George is my favorite character. He's the gorilla.
Gonna hug him and squeeze him and call him George.
And I love the fact that they had to when in the movie that's they had the wolf. He goes, people on the internet call him Ralph or something like that.
Ralph.
Because I believe that they had actual real names in the game.
Did they?
And you see the video game and one of the main building. You see the game in the background. And they had it in their office. And I was like, okay, that's hilarious.
That's cool.
I loved it. The Rocket's awesome. He's got another action movie coming out. I didn't see a trailer for it yet, but I saw a standee for. I think it's called Skyscraper. Comes out in July. I'm looking at this. I love The Rock. He's like, I'm just going to do all these movies. He is the current Arnold. He's doing any of these fun action movies. Yeah. And what I like about it from, what was the Jungle? Welcome to the Jungle, Jumanji. Everybody's like, oh, it's going to suck. It's going to be this. What are they doing? Remaking that? They didn't remake it. It was a sequel technically, and now they're doing another one after that.
Yep.
And so I loved it. The Rock was awesome in that. I loved him in Rampage.
You know, he's comfortable with who he is, and he's great at it.
He loves doing these disaster movies. Actually, they're paying him to do these disaster movies.
Well, what it is it's like we've run out of big guys to try to kill you, so now we're having the world trying to kill you. It's like the whole Earth. That was like the what was it?
The disaster one.
The disaster one. But like the Skyscraper one, did you see all the memes that came out when that movie poster was released? Everyone's showing like the trajectory based on where he is in relation to where he jumped from. And they're like, he's not going to make the jump. He's like in every possible scenario, he misses.
He's gonna fall. He's gonna.
So I guess the movie, the poster designers didn't take into account all the physics that were people are going to analyze.
and he was, and then one thing we didn't mention he's going to be in is that Black Adam movie for DC.
Correct.
And it's,
well, if it ever really happens.
Well, there's there were some photos leaked that he was seen on the set of the Shazam movie. But
was he?
Okay.
Well, it'd be kind of cool. I mean, I'd like to see.
I'm the main villain, but he might be doing something.
I'm actually looking forward to. I wouldn't mind seeing Shazam because hopefully they're not going to try to tie it to. They're doing these independent movies now that are separate from the Justice League stuff, which is fine with me.
I don't think Warner Brothers knows what they're doing with this universe because they keep announcing stuff, and then now we're hearing like, well, this is coming out, but it won't be part of this universe.
And even though their comic division and their movie divisions are two different things,
that's what I'm confused about.
They run the exact same way. They start with something, they go, I got a different idea. They did that back when they launched 52.
Yeah,
and it was like, here's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to take place in this year between, and that's not what we're going to do. So we're going to change it.
I know, and I agree with you because they have Henry Cavill is going to appear on the movie, and we have but they're saying it has nothing to do.
But the big problem with the movies, I think, is it's run by committee instead of.
Yeah, they need a one person running it and giving direction. That's why Marvel
theoretically Jeff Johns is doing now. Hopefully, he does,
he's supposed to be.
He's supposed to be, but he's not.
I think Warner Brothers is Johnny Hairdo running everything, and they're all sitting up in their office going,
Johnny Hairdo.
I think we need giant roaches, man. Giant roaches would be cool.
As his hands do this, giant roaches.
But
I had an idea,
but the Rampage movie, I definitely want to see.
Go see Rampage if you can.
I'm hoping
I'll be buying that when it comes out, just because it was fun. I'll enjoy watching that one a couple times, just because.
But May is so packed because all of a sudden then we're gonna have Deadpool 2 and then the Han Solo movie.
Yeah, Deadpool 2 looks great. I know you've been saying you're gonna hold off seeing Han Solo, but I'm waiting to see if you really do because every new trailer they.
But I will say
it looks like so much fun.
Well, I'm not going to see it opening weekend more as a protest to Kathleen Kennedy in episode 8. People already know my opinions there, so I'm not going to go down that road.
But I will say I did see a clip with yesterday for the movie they showed Julian Glover. He goes, "Hey, I'm Julian Glover. I'm in the new Han Solo movie. I'm playing Lando. Let me take you a tour of the Millennium Falcon." He goes in there. Here's the cape room. They had like 50 capes set up. He goes, hey, "Let me take you back here. You see when Lando owned this thing, it was really cool." He goes, "Oh look, and here's the master suite bedroom." Right. It was hilarious. Yeah. It actually is. It's all set pieces from it. He goes, "You want a martini?" He's making martinis behind the game system. Yeah.
I'm trying not to get overly optimistic on it, but I will say the trailers are looking good.
Yeah,
I like that Lawrence Kasdan wrote the story for this. I like that Ron Howard got put in charge because he knows how to bring a movie to life. He knows how to follow a script.
Redid the whole movie basically.
Right? Because they weren't really they were doing a lot of ad-libbing and not following the script, which is what my fear was. So I have a lot of hope for this, and we'll see. So
after
I'll see it that Monday,
at Thursday, I'll get done seeing it and probably call you and go, "Scott, oh my God, Scott, Scott, go see Scott."
I'll see it the Monday.
Or I hope I don't do this. I'm going to go, "Scott, don't waste your money."
Well, and that's the other part. If people, because
Scott knows I'll be very honest with him on this. And
well, I don't know. If honest is like when you took me on the roller coaster. Then
oh no, I didn't say I was to be honest there. I just said you'll survive. Oh, it's not that big a deal. Oh, by the way, there's a big 40-foot drop.
Yeah, like what?
But you survived and you enjoyed it.
I did enjoy it.
We'll get you on it one more time. But speaking of that, today is the 20th anniversary of the Battle of Hogwarts.
Is it really?
It is. May 2nd, 1998 was the Battle of Hogwarts.
What?
When Voldemort was vanquished.
Oh.
So, and Harry Potter survived.
Can you believe that? 20 years.
20 years since.
Wow.
Yeah.
When you say the Battle of Hogwarts.
Well, that's when it supposedly took place, not when the book came out, but.
Well, I was going to see if you were going by the book or by the movie.
Well, actually,
but neither. You're going by the historical date.
Yeah, historical date. Yeah. Pottermore posted this morning that, and because what it was is the movies and books take place from 91 to 98. They don't get you into. And in fact, if you pay attention towards the last couple of movies, when they're actually a little bit out in the real world, they're not. You don't see much like cell phones and things like that. Right. It's all just people out and about. So
yeah, even on I got that Daily Prophet piece with Snape, and I did it as an obituary. People will read that and be surprised because the dates for Snape's career are in the 90s, and they're like.
Yeah, they forget.
Like,
I mean, the first book came out in 97.
Right.
And that would have been year one, so it was set in 91. And part of what she said it in 1991 is that when she had the idea for the book, she started writing the ideas down and getting it going. Mm-hmm. And then from there, she just kind of year, and just left it at that, which I think was very smart of her.
Yeah, definitely.
And then it was also smart by not actually really saying the dates in the books. And then even though on Pottermore, she talks about them now, this is where it takes place.
Well, what's nice about the movies, too, is, especially that one, is it's in the 90s, but the majority of it's in the wizarding world, so it's not really dated.
Right.
Because so much happens in the fake world.
It's a historical time frame at this point.
Right.
So it becomes like a historical fiction.
And then with Fantastic Beasts, it's okay to be dated because it's a period piece.
Right.
We're going back to a specific period in time, so you were expecting it to look a certain way.
Right.
So it works.
Yeah.
It works. And speaking of which, I'm really excited for Fantastic Beasts too. When's that?
November. Yeah. Definitely look forward to that. Mm-hmm. We were talking off air beforehand. Dom's coming down to Tampa with us. You're not going to be there this year, Scott, but I'm going back to Universal and do some Harry Potter time and ride some rides and have fun.
Rub it in.
I know. I'm trying to get you to come down, but hey.
He's a Hufflepuff.
So, who's a Hufflepuff?
Who's a Hufflepuff?
No, I'm not.
No.
I was sort of Gryffindor.
I've never done the test, but I self-identify as a Ravenclaw.
Now, I did it one time and it came up Ravenclaw, but they say Gryffindor and Ravenclaws are pretty close.
Yeah.
So I could be like a Gryffindor.
I think I did. I was Gryffindor. I don't remember.
You were a squib.
Squib.
You're gonna be sweeping up the.
Maybe I'm a Ravendor.
I was a realist.
He's a Muggle. Blank him. Obliviate.
You're a Dursley.
Yeah.
I'm a Dursley.
House Dursley.
There's only 37 presents there. After there's 38. We'll get you 2 more when we go out, okay? Just don't kill us.
I love the Dursleys. The way they portrayed them in the movies was great.
I like them better in the book.
But this isn't a Harry Potter episode.
Book, so I know it's not, but we're kind of retrospecting on that, and one of the things we'll retrospect later is our trip down to Universal.
Right.
On that. But in the meantime,
we have
Joe gets to read his own ad read.
That's right.
I pay you guys.
As we said, I'll read it. As we said, we got. There's the paper.
Grumble, grumble, grumble.
But we got Joe with us in studio, which we're excited about as always, and we're always
not really, but we'll fake it.
But they do great work. Brett and I get our poster prints through him and his staff. They always do a superb job, high quality. Even this weekend at Motor City Comic Con, I had a number of
Motor City Nightmares.
Yeah, Motor City Nightmares. I was like,
Motor City Comic Con in a couple weeks. A couple weeks from now. Motor City Nightmares. I had a number of fans where they're deciding, do I want to buy this? And they're like, well, can I feel the paper? And I hand it to them, and I feel, and they're like, wow, this is a quality print.
Yeah.
And, they really do notice when it's well done and well made.
That's kind of weird. Were they like rubbing it? Like, let me feel.
No, they do. No, fans. Because
actually, what it is you get some guys are like, I got these like $10 prints, and you pick them up, and it's printed on copy paper.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Now I've used I always use photo paper, but I've had some that's not the thicker stock, and I tell you, it is archival photo paper, but it is the thicker stuff. So I always put a backer board, but I like the thicker stuff better. So,
but yeah, like I like to use 100-pound paper personally is my favorite. It's got a nice weight to it. It feels great, and the fans notice, so they see the quality in it, and I appreciate that, Joe, and the efforts you guys do. So, with that said, International Minute Press in Plymouth, Michigan prints, promotes, and designs you. Artist owned and operated, Joe and his team understand what it takes to build a team enthusiasm and brand awareness. If you are looking for custom and printed materials such as hats, t-shirts, mugs, and more, IMP of Plymouth is the company to help you. Contact them today for a competitive pricing quote. Mention Odd Musings to receive 20% off your next order. Located at 1058 South Main Street in Plymouth, Michigan. Their phone number 734-414-6203, or visit them online at www.myprinter.intlminutepress.com or in store to learn more about the services they offer. For the latest happenings and promotions, follow them on Twitter and Instagram, or go to oddmusings.com, go to our sponsors page, and we have links directly to their sites there.
Right. There we
have it. Am I still on the job? Am I hired?
Sure.
All right. Yeah. Actually, I actually read it well this week. I've been tripping over the words the last 2 weeks. It's like blah blah blah.
I listen. I'm like, it's fine.
But
whatever.
And while we're at when we're at Motor City Comic Con too, for all you artists who are going, give them a call. If you great time to test out their services, see what they can do with your art, how good they make it. Place the order. There's time. Place the order this week.
Yeah, and if you're coming from out of state, you're driving up 275 most of the time, anyways.
Instead of shipping those prints, get them printed here.
Come in early on Thursday or Friday morning and swing in. in.
And it's not far from Novi.
We have a lot of artists that contact us out of state, and we ship to them, and shipping is included with their order.
Exactly.
So they mentioned Odd Musings for 20% off.
That's right.
There you go. Buy a lot, get more. So yeah, I've been very happy with my print so far.
You've had a lot of exciting stuff going on over there. What what are in addition to the regular prints that we all know, and of course you do amazing.
You did our banners.
Yep, they did the banners, business cards. If people have comic books that they print, if they're self-published, they can print through you.
We're working on that right now.
Okay.
We have the machines for it. Like I said, we have our equipment is like state of the art. Just came out, so like we're still playing around with them to get it going. So
right.
We definitely can do small run comics. Right now we're experimenting with the paper companies with special paper because our machines. There's only like 2 machines out there that can handle certain type of papers because we have a refrigerator unit in the machine, so it cools the paper as it goes through. So we're still experimenting, but yeah, we can do some really cool stuff. And
it's like what, cold fusion printing?
Yeah, it's like that's what I said. I was like, I can put my beer in there.
It's nitro fed.
Nitro fed.
Yeah, stop on by, get your prints done, have a beer. All from the same machine.
We are experimenting with holographic paper, which is like really exciting.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
And you do wide format as well.
Oh yeah, we do. It's like a bread and brother. We do all different types of wide format. We do canvas prints, regular prints, backlit prints. We put that machine to use.
Yeah, and then you do shirts too.
Yes. Before we couldn't tell it because you guys had 21, which was a great company. What is it called?
T-24.
24.
Still good friends. They still they're going to be doing some shirts for us still with for Odd Musings.
Right.
So.
We do short run T-shirts. So if you just want one T-shirt up to, we cap it at 100, just because we're just busy. We want to make sure we do enough for you.
It's designed more for smaller runs.
Yeah.
That setup, but
that's a common question.
And it's a full color.
Full color, and we can do all different types of materials. Like we can do foil, glow in the dark, which we've done some fun stuff with.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and just regular T-shirts, which are great. So a common question we get is, what if I only want 2? I'm like, we'll do it for you. So it doesn't matter if you want 1 or 100. We're going to do it for you.
There you go.
Awesome. Any other shout outs for your company you need to do?
Oh, we're just going right into the company thing?
Whatever you want.
Well, I know they're doing something with Keller Williams for the business cards.
Yes.
Yeah, we have a business card promotion that's separate from the Odd Musings. It's a KW promo, and you get 1,000 cards for $25.
Yep. I mean, and then also we're going to have a flyer we're sure working on for Motor City for special deals for comic artists and other artists, people out there that'll be roaming around. So that's we're getting that hammered out.
And of course, you got to thank your wife who runs the business for you.
Yes.
Bridget is awesome.
Now full on the staff. Actually, we as you guys have your year anniversary, which is congrats on that. We also are. This is also our year anniversary of taking over the business.
Awesome. Yeah.
We actually for our 1 year anniversary, we basically got a whole new staff. We got 2 talented artists right now. We have who I was just telling you guys, think outside the box. We have Allie, who is another alumnus from CCS, who her passion is glass blowing, which is like totally awesome.
Oh, cool.
Still trying to get her to do a Coke bottle made from broken Coke bottles, just to blow your minds. Whoa. And we also have our young blood, which is Terry, who did say hi. Hi, Terry.
Now, with your company too, you mentioned this is the 1 year mark. Mm-hmm. Now, when you took this over, you really took this to the next level.
Yeah, first thing we did was we gutted the whole place and put in all new equipment.
Yeah, you put in new equipment, and it's more than like there's a lot of print shops out there who they'll do great business forms, black and white stuff. Mm-hmm. But I've been to places that specialize in printing, and they just can't get colors right for art type work. You guys nail it. So what do you think is the difference? What I know you got the CCS background, but
all of our guys have that color eye because they're not just a lot of places to go to, and all the shops are great. I'm not talking bad about any of them,
right?
But some they just print and that's it. They don't care. They just want you in and out. So they don't know about the different papers, how machines work with the other papers, stuff like that. All of our guys, when we look at something, we also look at the different colors, make sure everything's correct because we don't want anything leaving because their name is on it. Right. I don't mean like our company name, but like if one of my designers is working on it and it goes, they're the one that let it go. Right. And they want to make sure that it's good as it goes. So that they take care of all of them. We get some crazy crazy stuff from your guys' prints to now we're doing a lot of small businesses that are doing like beard creams that want labels, or we have a whole bunch of companies now coming in for rebranding because they heard about the quality we do, and that's how it is.
Yeah, like I've been at some places where I got prints done and all the flesh tones were like completely off, didn't look anything close, and I'm like, what is this? And they're like, well, nobody can do flesh tones. I'm like, what do you mean nobody can do flesh tones?
Yeah, no.
I get these prints all the time.
Yep.
And but when you're in this type of business like Brett and I are, you learn really fast that when you find a quality printing company, you want to stick with them.
Yeah,
because
it took me a long time to find one. I did all my own prints because I control the quality.
Right.
Or some people had to go out of state to try to find something just like.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a company I deal with out of state for certain things. I've gotten prints from them before, and I will deal with them like when I'm doing my West Coast shows, especially because they're out west, and they deliver to some of those shows directly. So it's just it's more about timing, cost.
Yeah,
But it's all about quality, and it's like if Joe didn't have the quality, we'd have booed him a long time ago.
And even the cost. Like a lot of people have misconceptions that online stores are cheaper than the brick and mortar stores, and they're not. My prices are cheaper than Vistaprint all day long. It's just
when I've looked at different companies online that have no actual real physical store, they have a warehouse to do all their printing, or they outsource it, which is most of the time.
Right.
The costs are not cheaper. The other thing is it's about quality. It's like any companies I deal with, I want to be able to talk to somebody directly, so I can talk with you or your staff.
That personal ability between you and
the other
the
companies I deal with, I have contacts there, and the reason is you don't want just anybody handling it. That means they don't really care. If you got an account manager, then it works better for you.
Yeah. Awesome.
So,
we really appreciate what you do.
Thanks for being a sponsor on the show.
Right.
Yeah. We'll be sending an invoice soon.
And someone else we really appreciate, Loringer Family Chiropractic.
Yes. And I was just there yesterday. Saw Dr. Anna. We'll see her next week. They're actually going out to Phoenix starting on Saturday. Their youngest daughter, Faith, is graduating university out there. And that's why I actually get to see Dr. Corinne next Tuesday. She's going to be doing adjustments for her on Tuesday before she goes out for the graduation. But at Loringer Family Chiropractic, your journey to wellness begins there. You get to build a healthy lifestyle with chiropractic care. At Loringer Family Chiropractic Center PC, they take great pride in providing the finest chiropractic care to each and every patient. They offer on-site digital x-rays, massage therapy, orthotics by foot levelers, young living essential oils, aromatherapy, full line of vitamins, all with a family-oriented environment. Give them a call at their Belleville location, 734-697-4244. You can also be directed from there to their Dexter location. Those are both in Michigan. Look them up at LoringerFamilyChiropractic.com. We do have a link at the oddmusings.com sponsor page. And get out there and see somebody. It's also, we got Mother's Day coming up, and because they do massages, you can always get a massage gift certificate. Janice, we gave her a massage gift certificate for her wedding when we were at the wedding, and I don't know if she ever used it. We haven't heard from her on that, have we?
I have not. She'll have to chime in.
We need to find out, because she's been so busy traveling. Last time I saw she was down in Louisville, and another great food down there. Since when we travel, people have to understand that besides planning for the show in the hotels, is we look where there's good places to eat, because you're going to eat. I'm not going to eat crap all the time. So, everybody's like, well, I can go to Chili's, I can go to Applebee's. I'm like, I want something good.
Not that we're saying they're crap. We don't want to get sued.
No. Not saying that crap. But, and stuff like that. But at the same time, I can get those anywhere.
I know exactly what you mean.
And when I say crap, I'm talking about like really nasty places, local in those places. But like in Louisville, I said, you got to go to the Troll Under the Bridge pub.
Yeah, that's a great place.
I think the funniest thing was first time we go there, we had Kevin Lean with us, and he looked on the board. He's like, I don't know. He goes, this place is perfect. They have hipster repellent beer, and that's what he ordered was hipster repellent.
And he talks about it to this day.
Yep.
So that's awesome.
I miss Kevin. He's a great guy.
Yeah, Kevin's doing great. I got to get a hold of him again so we can try to do lunch again. I've been so busy since I got back from California. I'm just working so much. But
as we said at the start of the show, we're at our 1 year anniversary.
Yeah.
Now
it's hard to believe. Yeah.
Go back in time and review the year.
It's funny.
It's been a fun year.
We talked about this before. Scott had, I'd mentioned about maybe we want to do a podcast. He thought about doing it, and he said, well, why don't we try to do one together? And, we were sitting in Indiana a year and a few weeks ago and talking with Vinny at the show there, and we come up with the name Odd Musings after running a bunch of names through. We were bouncing them back and forth and that stuff. And
Vinny he said something else, but it was Odd Musings, or I forget what it was. He said something, and that is what triggered us to go on to Odd Musings.
Yeah, Odd Buddies.
Odd Buddies. The Odd Couple. Wait, that sounds familiar. So it all started back then, and it happened really quick from there. Because Motor City Nightmares happened.
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks later we were at Motor City Nightmares, and we'd already decided, okay, we've got Odd Musings. We already said we're going to start in May, first Wednesday in May, which would have been May 3rd last year. And we'd set it up with Dominic already on that stuff, so we were like, okay, we're going to do this. And we get to Motor City Nightmares, where we're both set up last year, and Dee Snider's there. And we made friends with his buddy Danny, who kind of runs everything for him. And Danny says, you guys want to do a quick meet and greet with him, and we can do a quick video or something? I was like, yeah, sure. So he did the quick video we posted before the show started, and had a chance to meet him. And that was kind of our first interview. That was fun. It was kind of, we don't know what we were doing, so we just didn't really do a full interview. We should have.
Dee was really cool because, we only got a little clip as far as the video goes, but he talked to us for quite some time. I talked about how I really enjoyed the Twisted Xmas album he did, and he appreciated that I liked that album, because then he went into a whole story of how that album came to be, and it was a fun conversation. And you were talking about that because you had just seen the Netflix series,
the Netflix documentary on how Twisted Sister came about, his career.
That was a good one.
It was awesome.
Really well done. So
that's one of the best rock documentaries I've ever seen. It really was.
It's really well put together.
And so we enjoyed that, and got to meet him. And then it was like the next week we were doing the show.
Yeah, we were able to post that, and that was really cool. How that was our happened. Promo in that. But we got a chance to meet quite a few people over the years over the months, and our first in-studio guest, over the phone that is, interview was Tracy Lee Coco, who was in a ton of Star Trek episodes. She was more of a background character, but because of her certain appearances on the show, she's become a cult fan.
Well, Jonathan Frakes as Riker gave her name
by accident. Yeah, he accidentally gave a name, and it got through. So then she became a credited name, and became a target of fan fiction because of a certain scene where she's sitting next to Picard in this one scene, and they give a look to each other, and that instantly caused all these fans to want to ship them together. And who is this person? And but she also played aliens in a lot of different scenes for Star Trek too, various aliens and stuff. So
she was a crew member on Next Generation with them.
I think she was in over 100 episodes.
100 episodes. She did aliens and a bunch of Voyager and things like that. So she bounced around quite a bit. So
that was really fun having her on and recounting some of those tales.
And then not too long after that, or around that same time, I went up to Traverse City for Cherry Capital Con. I think it's called like C4, so it's like Cherry City, Capital City.
Capital City is Lansing, but they're also C4. Cherry Capital Con.
Comic-Con. Yeah, there we go.
Cherry Capital Comic-Con.
And so it became a C4. And I got a chance, I was sitting next to Cooper Andrews, plays Jerry from Walking Dead. And then Peyton Witch, who played Troy in the first season of Stranger Things.
And he was the bully.
And on Friday, because it wasn't that busy, I went over and I said, hey guys, would you like to do an interview? And they were like, sure. And Cooper was awesome. And he's just a big old teddy bear. Everybody's loving him. And he was giving out pie all weekend. And then Peyton, he plays this really mean kid in Stranger Things. I mean, he's going to hurt these kids.
Yeah, he was a big bully.
And the nicest kid could be. I met his dad, too. His dad was awesome. In fact, his dad ran the camera. I was just going to set it up, and he said, oh, no, let me hold it. We'll get this right.
And if I remember right, for Cooper Andrews, the whole pie thing was because on Walking Dead, he brought a pie to Carol, I think.
Yeah. It was tied into that, One little thing in an episode, and everybody goes nuts for pie.
Right.
So he was going to Walmart and bought like a ton of pies. And was handing out slices. And he was trying to I don't eat pie, really. So, but if he had like a chocolate pie, I would have done that. Or if he got a key lime pie, it would have been good. But, the apple pie, strawberry pie.
You can't say no to pie when Jerry offers it.
Now, Mom had some apple pie, I believe, if I remember right. But she loved meeting him, too. And he came down, bought some books for me. And so we really got to hang out with him all weekend.
Yeah, he seemed really nice.
So those are on our YouTube channels. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, go to oddmusings.com, click on over, and subscribe. Yes. And then it was just a couple weeks after that, we had to have Sammy call in about Tommy. And
that was
a tough one. It was a great 1 hour with Sammy.
It was a good show.
Because we learned, we got to really hear about their love story a little bit, and
how they met.
Love Sammy, and can't wait to see her at Motor City. Tommy passed away not too long after the interview. It was just a couple days.
Yeah, it's almost at the 1 year mark.
Yeah,
that?
And
what did we say? End of June, roughly.
Towards the end of June. I think it's June 23rd, if I'm remembering the date right. And so it's hard to believe he's gone. And she was calling in because she still got all those medical bills sitting there.
Oh yeah,
and stuff like that. But she's out and about as Tommy Castillo Studios. She brings some of his art. She's got her own art. She's got a mix of both of them together. So there's stuff he didn't finish that she went ahead and finished.
Yep.
And looks great. And she's got a lot of cool stuff going on. She's traveling all over again. She was just in Great Philadelphia this past weekend, and she'll be at Motor City with us in a couple weeks here.
And all of these are available on YouTube too. The past episodes are all up.
So all the videos are on YouTube, stuff like that. Hey, Sue McBride, happy anniversary! Thank you, Sue.
Hey,
and she's one of our longtime listeners.
A fun interview I got to have was with Michael Stackpole. He's the author of a lot of Star Wars books from the old Expanded Universe line, but he was really well known for his X-Wing series.
And you were out in Phoenix for that.
I was in Phoenix. I believe that was the same weekend you were at Cherry Capital.
Correct.
And
because we were texting back and forth about the interviews.
Right.
So
I had a wonderful interview with Michael Stackpole, and I get to talk to him quite a bit when I do Phoenix. Great guy.
Now you also talked to
for a lot of my Star Wars
was it Strange Comics that weekend?
Stranger Comics and Sebastian Shaw. Sebastian's his first name. I'm forgetting his last name.
Sebastian Shaw's from the Hellfire Club.
So Sebastian something.
Yeah.
I'm totally blanking on his last name. I'm sorry, Sebastian.
I know we saw him in Denver a couple weeks after.
He does a lot of shows. They have a really cool independent comic book company with some great titles. Niobe is one of their popular ones.
Yep.
The girl who plays Rue from Hunger Games is associated with them in some way. I forget how, but beautiful art, great storytelling, and always a pleasure to talk to Sebastian when I get to see him. But we interviewed him too about Stranger Comics and the direction they were going. They're basically creating this mini universe within their. They have different series, but they are linked together, and they do great work. So check out Stranger Comics if you get a chance too.
Yeah, they were pretty cool in that. So we've had some good interviews.
But I think probably the most fun I had was our Universal Studios episode.
Well, that was great. You flew in from San Diego to Tampa. I picked you up and we headed over to Orlando. Vinny met us the next morning. We spent the whole day at
that was
Universal
great
Studios.
That he got to be with us.
Yeah, big shout out to JoJo who got us the extra passes that day that we needed.
Yep, we appreciate that.
And she's awesome, and even though she's not working at Universal anymore, I'm looking forward to seeing her when I get down to Orlando again and hanging out with her. She's always a good friend, and but we had a blast. It was we did my initial run through, as we call it, and I have a pattern.
the Brett plan.
Yep. And you gotta remember, this is summertime, July. Besides being just god awful hot, it's also very busy because people are on vacation.
Brett's plan. I've said it many times. I'm telling you. Brett should offer this as a service online.
Anybody that would like to fly me to Orlando.
He has the perfect plan to get through that park where you're just ahead of the surge, you hit all the parts you want, and then by midday when you're way overly hot, now it's time you can get into the places that are cool. You get out of the sun, you can relax and eat.
I charge airfare,
brilliant,
hotel, and $250 a day per diem.
Yeah, because you hit all these rides instantly. But then as soon as you finish his route, you start looking at the app, and it's like 45-minute wait, 1 hour wait, ride is down. Yep. We got to hit all that.
There's a certain way you have to go, and I'm not going to put it out there because I think this is proprietary information.
Yep.
Proprietary
information. For me. But we hit every ride on the studio side that everybody wanted to hit.
Well
some a couple times. But because we went back and hit them in the evening again. And then we did the Hogwarts Express over, and we hit more rides over there, and even rides that Scott didn't want to do or I couldn't do.
Or that Brett tricked me to go on.
I didn't trick him that time. That was only the first time. What worked out great though is we got to a point though where like it was really hot. We're not too tired, but we're kind of like, oh, this is great. I was like, oh, Kong is 75 minutes, and I looked at him all and said, it's air conditioned in there. We beelined in there.
Yeah, and that just opened recently.
It opened a year ago, so it's been open for a year now.
Well, now, but when we were there, it wasn't that long.
Actually, you know what? It's almost 2 years now, so it'd been almost a year at that point.
Oh,
but
really?
It was still a new ride for a lot of people. So
no, it can't be 2 years because the year we went, before that, it wasn't open yet.
Right, and then it opened up that summer.
Oh, so shortly after.
Right.
Okay.
When we took Ashley, it opened up that summer.
Got it.
So
okay. So yeah.
But it was great. It was like about an hour. Ended up being about an hour. We were in there, and it was air conditioned.
Air conditioned out of the sun.
And actually, it kind of refreshed us.
You're like all underground. So
and then when we got done, we went out, and Scott and I wanted to do Spider-Man because Vinny was like, I'm kind of tired of 3D rides right now, so he wanted to do Hulk, and I couldn't do Hulk, and Scott won't do Hulk. So we went and did. It was funny. We go over to Spider-Man, and a huge group goes ahead of us into the single rider and over in the regular one.
Yeah, some kind of tour group or something.
And I spoke to the guy. I was like, so single rider's not going right now? He goes, we just put a big group in there. He goes, how many you got? And I said, it's just me and Scott. He goes, let him through Express. And the girl gave a dirty look, but let us through.
Yeah, what's up?
And
what's up with that?
It was great because otherwise it would have been like an hour wait because it went from like a 40-minute wait to like an hour and a half.
Are those rides still there?
What rides?
Like the Hulk and all this and stuff.
Yeah.
Since Disney,
they have the contract is they get to keep all those rides. There's no end date to it.
Okay. So like Disney can do those characters in Anaheim.
Yeah, so
because there's no Universal Studios out there.
Yeah, over
in
at
Orlando, they can't do it in Disney.
Yeah, at Disneyland Resort, they have the in the California Adventure, they have the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. They're building stuff there that's based on the Marvel stuff. They're allowing Universal to continue that in Orlando, which is smart because actually when Universal Orlando opened, Disney put a big ad welcoming them because they realized that it's a good thing for the area.
The parks feed off each other.
Yeah.
So
this because I was curious.
Yeah, people can think, they're going to lose. They're going to nope. The thing is, they if you look at what they have for Universal Orlando, it's the comic book characters. It's not the movies. It's strictly based on the comics, and it's comics from the 80s and 90s.
Not to bash them, but my big pet peeve, I cannot understand how when you go to Universal Studios, they have like billions of dollars. Why is it the regular average cosplayer looks better? Like the Captain America you see at a Comic-Con looks 10 times better than the Captain America at the park. Well, why can't they invest in a good suit for him?
Because they can't update the suit to the newer stuff. They're going with an older version of the suit.
Yeah, but it looks like a bad Halloween costume. They can update the material they use.
Yeah. But it's funny. I did meet Captain America on California Adventure. Sean and I and Stephanie. They had one of the characters out, and we got to meet, and they were really good. Those guys they looked like from the movie, from the first Captain America Adventure.
The Dr. Doom that was there. I took a picture of him, sent it to my friend who always does Dr. Doom. My buddy is way better.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this? You can't invest some money into the costume.
Yeah, but we had fun at Universal that day, and then the next morning, Scott and I got up. We went to Universal City Walk, and we called in and did the podcast from there. And that was also when your IMP was their first time.
First
that's
time
right.
with you.
On that. So in fact, I sent you the video just of that segment and that. It was funny though because we did have one of the guards come over and know what we were doing, so we had to tell them, we're just kind of talking to our podcast friends, and tell them how much fun we've had here the last couple of days here.
And it turned out he was from this area,
right?
And his family.
And he could have shut us down any time, but we had very little real equipment, but we had a easel set up or an easel, but a tripod set up in that. So that's why I was wondering.
So thankfully they allowed it. Otherwise it would have been.
Yeah, we weren't doing
gone the wrong way.
If we were doing like a real big broadcasting, they'd have been like, oh.
I think if we brought our good camera, it would have been shut down. But because we were using our cell phones, I think that was the deciding factor.
Yeah.
So
it worked out fine. We had a blast doing that.
You call that guerrilla podcasting?
Guerrilla podcasting, yeah. So that was our first remote podcast.
It was, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then not too long after that, when we got home, we had the Demolition Derby.
Yeah, that was interesting. Sponsored a Demolition Derby car. It had the Odd Musings logo on it, and that was so fun to go to and watch.
Your dad helped sponsor that with us. And,
he
was
just
awesome.
called. He's like, "Hey, I sponsored a car for you guys." I'm like, what? What are you?
Yeah, and
where did this come from?
T-24 made the vinyl that went on it.
It turned what it was is he worked with a guy who was the driver, and he was talking about how he was looking for sponsors. So my dad wanted to help him out because he was friends with him. So he's like, "Oh, here's some money. You can put Odd Musings on the car." So I was like, "Oh, awesome."
It was great because we did the video from there, which you can find on our YouTube channel.
It was a lot of fun.
We hung out that night. We ate some junk food that we don't normally eat, and
our car came in roughly like 5th place or something.
It wasn't bad. It lasted a long time.
It lasted a long time. And it actually went on fire at one point.
Yeah, it was great.
There was fire coming out from under.
Boom.
Premonition.
The best was the car in the Demolition Derby before ours, where the whole back end was like completely gone.
Oh yeah, he just driving on the two wheels. He almost won it too.
And the fans were going nuts for this car because it was so gone. And somehow it kept driving.
He was top 2 though. He almost won. It was great. It'd been funny if he won.
That was funny.
So we did that, and then we were at the Mall of America. We done a show up there. We want to talk about.
So many things we got to do.
As Small America, we did some. Check that out. I got a picture with Raphael from the Turtles,
and we got to give a shout out to Home DNA also.
Yeah, they provided with us
DNA kits
back last fall, and we got those back to talk about our DNA. Found out that we're semi-half brothers.
Yeah,
we share 3 of the same mothers.
Like 99.9% of our DNA is shared. Which
I know,
kind of disturbing. Brett, I feel bad for Brett.
Yeah, and of course we had a couple more great interviews. We had John Clark call in just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we should still have links on the our Facebook pages.
From the fire he had, explosion he had.
His stove exploded. Yeah,
that's crazy.
But we had a great in studio one with Jeff Sornick.
That was fun.
He had been at Nickelodeon. He was back home
He ventured forth into the world, into Nickelodeon, and came back.
Yeah, and then of course he's got his Sornick Graphics tag, and I saw he's doing posters again for the Fillmore for the rock concerts and stuff like that.
So many good things. So if you guys have any memories that you guys have, feel free to post them in the threads. We'll love to read those as time goes on. But I can't believe the hour's almost up already.
I know, it's been a year, and almost this hour went fast. And then,
time flies when Joe's in the studio.
Yeah. Dominic's looking dumbfounded. You got anything to say, Dom?
I'm very happy to have you guys for a year.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, are we still your number rated show outside of Motown Mojo?
And last but not least, we got to say before we get off the air, though, we do also want to hype up Joe. In addition to having International Minute Press, has a book coming out.
Yeah, he's working on a book right now, comic. It'll be out sometime this year.
Talk a little bit about it.
Yep, you got 1 minute.
Well, it has a cover.
Well, you have a story idea.
What's the title?
You got pages.
The working title?
The working title is Redemption. It's a, I guess we call it dark noir book. It involves some biblical stuff, not kind of like as in depth as what your books have, but more like what happened. Like I looked into what happened when Lucifer was kicked out of heaven. You know? So there had been some guys that teamed up with him that kind of helped him with this revolt, and they got punished by being sent down in prison in earth. So what it is there's these objects that were over the years were made into different things, and they still hadn't trapped these demons or spirits or whatever you want to call it. So it involves a stone that has a particular being that possesses a human, and his whole thing is to stop basically the rapture from happening. And it turns out the stone is also the same stone that Joan of Arc had, so when she thought God was talking to her, it really was this being that possessed her. And this leads from there.
All right. Cool. So what stage in development are you at right now?
I'm on book 1. I'm halfway through it. Getting it going. The story's pretty good.
And will there be a Kickstarter? What are you doing once it's ready?
I don't need a Kickstarter. I'm all printing stuff, so all right for itself.
But how, when it's ready, though, how are you going to release it? How will people know about it?
I'm gonna. Well, the side company that's going to be doing this is I started as Mad Hatter Press, and we're gonna probably online and through other stuff get it going.
Is there a website for Mad Hatter?
Not yet. We're still getting it going and getting that.
Yeah. So once you have that, we'll announce that. Yeah. Let people know about it.
It's good. It's good apocalyptic literature to read to all your kids for
What was that word?
Apocalyptic.
Awesome. All right. Well, we'll keep people posted on that as you have development. When you get some final art on it too, we'll gladly share that with people to hype it up. And then coming up, we got May the 4th Be With You Day about to happen.
Friday, Star Wars Day, and then Saturday is Free Comic Book Day. So go on, if you look for Comic Shop Locator online, you can find your local comic shop. Go get some free comics.
Dominic, are you going to be out for Free Comic Book Day?
Yes, I will be at Comics and More in Madison Heights.
Comics and More in Madison Heights. I might show up there and ride your coattails.
I'll be working all day, so I will not be Comic-Conning that day.
And then last but not least, Motor City Comic-Con in 2 weeks.
Yep, looking forward to that.
We got both Brett and myself there, as well as Mess Bucket Comics with Dominique.
I might stop by and pay.
All right.
You guys.
Yep. Yeah, and come on by and stop by our tables too. We'll gladly tell you about International Minute Press. We got some brochures.
I'll sell you some comic books.
Yep. So we'll gladly
some artwork,
do all that.
All kinds of fun stuff. But and for those that have been listening, like Sue, thanks for being a long-time listener. Mom, of course, listening today and stuff like that. We do appreciate you guys, and we can't wait to see you next week. So until then, Dominic, take us out, man.